Behind the Red Line, Episode 15, The Redhead Murders, the women the highways tried to forget. The southern highways stretch on forever, long, dark veins pulsing through Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Arkansas, Mississippi, miles of asphalt where strangers pass each other without ever exchanging names. Miles of exits that lead nowhere. Miles of pine forest swallowing sound and secrets. In the late 1970s, the South was a place where you could disappear easily. A lonely motel, a truck stop bathroom, a hitchhiking post near the on-ramp. People drifted. People left home. People chased freedom or escape or anything that felt like a future. But for at least 6 women, likely many more, the highway led somewhere else. Somewhere deadly. Their bodies began appearing off rural interstates, in drainage ditches, in ravines, by abandoned barns, beneath bridges, and in thick woods near the shoulders of long-forgotten roads. They had one eerie detail in common. Almost all had red or reddish hair. Young, female, transient, hitchhikers, sex workers, travelers, women the world rarely protected. The newspapers called them the Redhead Murders. And for over 40 years, the killer has remained a phantom of the highway. A ghost traveling I-40, I-75, US 25E. Passing through the pines like a shadow the South didn't want to admit was real. Tonight we follow the roads he walked. We trace the victim's steps. We walk into the woods where the wind still whispers their names. This is Behind the Red Line. Episode 15, The Redhead Murders. In the late 70s and early 80s, America's southern highways were full of movement. Truckers chasing delivery routes. Young travelers drifting state to state, runaways escaping violent homes. Sex workers surviving night by night in truck stop shadows. The South was warm, cheap, quiet, easy to blend in. Police departments were small. Communication was slow. Jurisdictions rarely talked. And predators knew this. A woman could be picked up in Kentucky, killed in Tennessee, and dumped in Arkansas. By the time anyone pieced the story together, the killer was already 2 states away. But for these murders, the pattern was impossible to ignore. Young women, reddish hair, dumped near highways, killed with rage or control, lives tied to traveling, often unidentified for years. Someone was hunting the forgotten women of the South. January 1978, wet, freezing air. 2 men walking along Interstate 40 near Nashville spotted something in a concrete culvert. Something pale, something human. The woman was in her early 20s. Long red hair, signs of strangulation, dumped beneath an overpass like trash. No ID, no car nearby, no witnesses. She became Jane Doe, buried by the county, forgotten, but she wasn't the last. Not even close. Over the next few years, bodies appeared in Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Mississippi, and even Pennsylvania. All women, all young, all transient. Many with red hair, fiery red, copper, strawberry blonde, auburn. Some were nude, some partially clothed, some strangled, some beaten, all dumped in places only a local or long-haul driver would know. The locations weren't random highway shoulders, cornfields near exits, ravines accessible only by turning off rural interstates, wooded embankments beside truck stops, bridges along truck routes. Law enforcement began to whisper the unthinkable. This might be the same man. The media didn't care about them at the time. Most articles were a few lines long. Unidentified female, reddish hair, suspected transient. But they had lives. Lisa Nichols, once a vibrant young woman from West Virginia who got caught in addiction and drifted across states searching for stability. Tina Farmer, traveling with truckers to reach family, but never making it home. Wetzel County Jane Doe, whose reconstruction showed bright auburn hair and haunting eyes. Orange Socks Jane Doe, found wearing nothing but socks near a highway in Texas, later identified as Deborah Jackson, and so many more whose names are still unknown. Their faces reconstructed by forensic artists, their identities unclaimed. These women were not clichés. They were not just prostitutes or just hitchhikers. They were people with stories, people who deserved safety, love, life. And the killer knew how little protection the world gave them. Whoever killed them was comfortable moving bodies, comfortable dragging them into brush, comfortable choosing secluded exits. Investigators believe the killer knew trucking routes, knew rural Southern geography intimately, was physically strong, targeted vulnerable women, was impulsive but patterned, likely had a long criminal history, may have been a trucker, drifter, or highway worker, chose redheads intentionally or coincidentally because the population he preyed on had a high percentage of dyed red hair. Strangulation appeared in multiple cases. A personal, rage-filled method. It told detectives one thing. This wasn't about sex. This wasn't a robbery. This was power, control, domination. A man who enjoyed watching someone's life slip away in his hands. A man confident the highway system would hide him forever. In 1985, near Jellicoe, Tennessee, a body was found beside I-75. Young woman, red hair, strangled, dumped down an embankment. But this time, someone remembered her. A trucker had seen her at a rest stop days prior. Alone, pacing, arguing with a man driving a long-haul rig. Description: white male, mid-30s, dark hair, mustache, southern accent, slim, wiry build. The sighting was never fully followed up. Leads went cold. Departments across states never shared their notes. But for a moment, the ghost of the highway had a face. A blurred, partial one dash dash, but a face nonetheless. Decades later, in 2018, a Tennessee high school sociology teacher brought the cold case to his students. He challenged them to build a profile, to organize the evidence, to do what 5 states' police departments never managed. These teenagers, not detectives, not federal agents, not criminologists, were the first group to successfully link the victims into a coherent serial pattern. They called the killer the Bible Belt Strangler. Police later preferred Redhead Murders. Their work led state officials to reopen investigations, re-examine files, test DNA, and attempt to identify victims previously dismissed. High schoolers did what the South hadn't done in 40 years. They saw these women as human, because the victims were vulnerable, because the states weren't communicating, because many women weren't reported missing, because forensic science was primitive, because red hair dye was common in sex work during that era, because the killer traveled and had no fixed hunting ground, because society didn't care about the type of woman he targeted. Serial killers thrive in blind spots, and the South had plenty. Theory number 1, a long-haul truck driver. The strongest theory: he knew interstates too well, dump sites too remote, timing too perfect. Theory number 2, a drifter or carny worker. Someone following seasonal routes, able to disappear quickly. Theory number 3, a local serial in each state. Unlikely. The similarities were too strong, too repeated. Theory number 4, a single man with a specific preference. Red hair as a fetish. Or a coincidence born from the demographics of survival sex work at the time. Theory number 5, a known offender already dead. Some believe the killer died, went to prison for another crime, or stopped due to age or injury. But the truth remains. No one was ever arrested. Drive those roads today. I-40, I-75, I-81, and you'll pass the exact exits where bodies were found. They look normal now. Gas stations, pine forests, old barns, gravel shoulders, motels with cracked signs. But beneath the soil are memories of women who never made it home. Unmarked graves, lost identities, lives cut short by a stranger passing through. Their souls linger in the ditches, in the rustling branches, in the cold air under overpasses. A killer walked these roads. He left no fingerprints, no confession, just a trail of red hair and silence. The Redhead murders weren't accidents. They were a pattern, a message scrawled across 6 states by a man the South still refuses to name. He hunted the women society overlooked, knowing their disappearances wouldn't crack headlines, knowing the system viewed them as statistics, knowing no one would connect the dots. But we see them. We speak their names. We honor their truth. The highway remembers. The forests remember. And someday, someone will too. This is Behind the Red Line, Episode 15, The Redhead Murders.